Hey everybody, how you doing? It's actually John Brewer here with Beth Azor, the amazing Beth Azor. We are out canvassing restaurants today, and as we were talking in the car, I asked her a question about a restaurant gentleman who had his CAM increased recently because the building was sold. So he was a little perplexed that his rent rate actually has gone up, and so I was asking Beth if there was any way you could put a CAM cap or anything of that nature in the lease, and she had a very interesting opinion.
So as a property owner, if I was to sell a property, I would not be interested in putting any sort of cap on real estate taxes for a tenant. I've had national tenants recently ask that, and we've said no. I understand why tenants would like to cap their real estate taxes. Basically, they're saying, why should they be penalized for us, the property owners, to sell our properties? How this works, John, is if, let's say, I buy or build a shopping center and the value is $10 million, right, and I go sign a bunch of leases, and there are 1,000 square foot, 2,000 square foot, 3,000 square foot tenants, and I sell the property for $18 million. Good for me, right? But that $8 million is an increased value. So the municipality, with the millage rates, it bumps the taxes up, within the next year to 18 months. So the tenant gets a very big surprise because the landlords pass through the increase on the taxes to the tenants because that's what the lease says. There are no landlords that would agree to cap real estate taxes, and the reason being is that would significantly diminish their pool of buyers.
Right.
So if you had a bunch of tenants that had caps on real estate taxes, a buyer would say, heck no, I'm not going to buy that shopping center because basically those new buyers and owners of the properties would have to eat that.
Right.
And when you buy shopping centers, you're buying shopping centers. One of the reasons you like retail is because you get to pass through the taxes, the insurance, and the CAM costs on these triple net leases. So I've had national tenants ask me to cap the real estate tax increase in an event of a sale, and I won't do that.
Right.
So if I'm not going to do it for the national tenants, I'm certainly not going to do it for a tenant that's got 3 locations and is 1,000 or 2,000 or 3,000 square feet. So unfortunately, the news for those restaurants, your clients who are restaurants that are having this issue, there's really no way to get around that unless they bought their own building.
Right.
Investing in their own real estate, and then they would not have that surprise. Or maybe having a little more research with the owner that they're leasing space from. If the guy's owned the building for 20 years and tells him that he doesn't have a lot of interest in selling, that could change in a year too. I mean, if someone walks in and says, I'll buy your shopping center, and they want to pay over market, you're going to sell it.
Right.
But certainly, there are property owners in South Florida that are flippers, and you can say, how long have you bought the property? A year ago. And what other properties have you owned in the market? And you can ask them. And if they say, oh no, we owned 10 shopping centers last year and we sold 8 of them,
right,
then they will see that the exit strategy of that landlord is to sell the property, and maybe they would be reluctant to lease space in those situations. But as far as your question is, can we cap real estate tax increases in an event of a sale? I would say categorically 98% no.
And there you have it. Thank you.